Hi, my name is David Lipsey. I'm the chairman of the Henry Stewart Conferences, and I'm here today with Tracy Askam, who's a vice president with HP and one of the senior members of our digital asset management community. Tracy, thanks for the chance to talk today.
It's a pleasure.
One of the things I was wondering, and I don't know the answer to this for you, is when did DAM kind of click in for you? You have a deep technology background. Mm-hmm. Was there were you working someplace? Was there a specific event? When did DAM click for you?
Well, I moved into the DAM environment about 10 years ago in 2005. And it was new to me. I came from interaction management, enterprise software, and I started working for a company by the name of Interwoven. And I took responsibility for the digital asset management solution. And I didn't really understand yet what the market was about or what the users were about. But one of the key things that when it really clicked in for me and where I've seen the market now going is the day someone said, oh, don't worry about it. They can have a system down for several days and they can get their things later. And I'm like, what? Their content, that information is incredibly valuable. And that's at that point when it really clicked to me how valuable that content was, that it was important to the clients, it was important to the users of that content, and to making it available 24/7, and it was mission critical.
Yeah, and in the words of the television industry, no black air.
No, none. But we were thinking of it at that time from a departmental perspective, a very not the broad enterprise, but very tiny way of looking at, oh, it's just a little system. Don't worry about it. We can handle that.
What are some of the aspects of mission-critical operations that DAM services today? You have a very global remit in your work. You travel extensively. What sorts of business operations, both expected and less expected, are you seeing in the market today?
Well, you hit on the first one there is global, is making sure that what you deliver from a solution perspective and also from a business process perspective is global, meaning that you can handle content coming from anywhere, any location. It could be from a very remote location, getting into a system and handling that. So handling from a global perspective, but also from a language perspective. So it must be internationalized in handling that kind of information. Meaning content is not always in English. It can be in many, many different languages, and that a system has to support that from a DAM perspective. I think the key thing really is around DAM being architectural, that level, the foundation of supporting many other systems and part of a broader solution. And I think that's key to success and making things happen, those connectivities, is seeing that once you get that foundation, you can build off of that. And how are you going to use the content? How are you going to utilize that information, whether it's a video, whether it's an image or a document, any of that content, and being able to distribute it and use it.
We both see a lot of different entry points into DAM, and I'm thinking about your use of the word foundation there. If I'm in marketing, I have one general definition of what do I mean by foundation for marketing. If I'm in sales training or if I'm in store planograms, a different one. If I make content for a living, yet a fourth example there. Mm-hmm. What's the journey to get that foundation conversation going that you're seeing today? Because it does need to be a very broad-based foundation.
It's not an easy journey. It really isn't. It takes a very skilled individual or a champion within an organization that understands the need and the business reasons for why you would want to put the foundation in place. And once you start championing that, it's about bringing those groups together to say what sales needs, what marketing needs, what the creative group needs. They may be different, but the foundations may ultimately be the same. So we have to figure out how to communicate that and share that vision. And it's having that overall vision statement or a goal to achieve, to bring many of those different groups together. And again, that goes from the old way of doing it, departmental siloed, to the enterprise, and tying those pieces together. It might have the same foundation, but you're building rooms on top of the foundation.
Tell me a little bit about the progress you're seeing measured from that point of view. No one would think today about payroll as being a departmental solution. It just sounds silly to even say it in the same sentence. How are we doing in DAM?
We're finally here. I'm excited that we're finally at the point where we are thinking it as enterprise, and organizations are thinking that way. They're putting their budgets together that way. They are taking it from a more C-level, and looking at those situations and those solutions. So it's very exciting from that perspective. And as a vendor working in that market, we have to look at it from a product perspective and be able to also deliver products that are going to meet those needs as they grow. So we have to be aware of, let's say, the market in itself, and the business objectives that they're going to have, and then provide those solutions along with our partners, our solution partners, and the partners that, as the customer themselves, they have their own teams and their own solution building to building that overall solution, which then brings you to an openness. The foundation means you have to have integration points, openness to bring different types of content, in integrating with other solutions to meet all the marketing needs, to meet the creative needs, to meet the sales needs. It might even be tied to that payroll system you just mentioned.
Possibly, or at least SAP or Oracle.
Right.
Let's hope. So one of the things I always enjoy about how you frame issues around digital asset management, the perspective that you've developed in these 10 years, is you've always thought like a product manager.
Yes.
One of the things that I find in the best run businesses using DAM is that there's somebody who's thinking like a product manager. And I wonder if you could just react to that and also amplify on what are some other best run suggestions that are in Tracy's book of tricks for here's how we put DAM together and make it work through time.
I agree. I think the product management is a key, and it's thinking about what is that requirement, what is the priority of that requirement, where does that sit compared to others. I also believe that you can't boil the ocean. You have to start at one place and build. If you decide to boil the ocean, you just won't get there and you won't have success. So taking off small pieces, small successes first is very valuable, because what that ultimately will do will then bring on more groups. The adoption will be better within an organization. Individuals will be happier. You'll see more requests, more ideas of how they may want something. And don't be afraid to say no, because something might not apply. Just because somebody says, I want it pink. No, you really don't want it pink. It's okay. You can make those changes when it has real value in that, and it's okay to say no. So guiding from that perspective, trying not to boil the ocean, and finding successes as quickly as possible brings adoption.
Great. Well, Tracy, thank you for the chance to share a few thoughts on what makes DAM successful, and I hope people will listen to that good advice. Always great to spend time with you. Thanks.
Thank you, David.